Hi, this is Steven at Classic Typewriter, walking you through this IBM Correcting Selectric II. I'll walk you through a few of the essential features. There are quite a lot on this machine, but you should be able to get the gist of what is going on. I'll try to keep my hands out of the way somewhat while showing you as a solo endeavor here. This opens like so. This just kind of freely floats. It'll click open or closed. This is what it runs on. It's this type ball here. See the type ball with the little position markers below. You can see that this being the 2 marker has the writing in white, and the 3 has the writing in yellow, and they're not compatible. This has a few differences and a different number of characters. The yellow will show the number of characters. This has 88 characters, I believe. So they're not compatible, as I learned the hard way. Also, see if we can get that back in there. So it looked like it was backwards. Just trying to see here. I use a 3, so I consulted the manual to make this, but some of the features are a little bit different. Turn this on like so. Notice it's very quiet. You hear the motor running. This is the indicator where the type currently is. This is the left and right margin selector. You just push them in and move them. The 3 is lit up here, the 2 is not. And that's a challenge with these, is that this motor running, if you leave it running like over a weekend, it can burn out the motor and seize up. So you really have to remember, that's why they put this red here. Red on red is not that easy to witness. But you can tell the difference is like kind of subtle, so it just kind of has to be a habit to remember to move that like that. The 2 has this metal left side page guide that slides back and forth, which is nice because there's a plastic one on top of the 3 that often falls off. There's a marker here that goes A, B, C to E. It's a switch, and that's how you select the thickness of the paper, or what they call multi-sheets. So you can see it's moving this platen slightly to make more room behind it to fit more papers in. This frees the line by line ratcheting, so you can do a character slightly offline, and then it'll click back to the line again. So that frees it and that returns it. So you can do that for certain kinds of underlining, footnote marks, etc. This is single, triple, double spacing. So let's do a little test on here. I can get a little more clear on what the heck's going on. Notice that I had released the line ratcheting. This just releases the rollers so you can adjust the paper as needed. This just lifts the paper bail. So look, on this machine, on a regular typewriter, you'll move the carriage over. Here, everything is built in. The only thing that's going to move is this ball as it moves across the page and finds the right character to imprint upon the page. I'm going to move this margin over a little bit so we make a little more room. When you push return, it goes down to the next line, moves down the number of spaces you have selected up here and up here. And that's it. When you push index, it just moves it down without doing the return. So it just goes down to the next line. So this express moves it back to the margin. Backspace, obviously. This is a correcting, so I'm going to write Dear Fearless Writer, enter. Notice that it double spaced. I'm going to put now notice I'm looking for characters a little bit. I'm also testing this machine out because our tech just serviced it. I like to test everything thoroughly. Notice that that did the, looks like 1.5 line spacing. This paper is deckled edge. Again, the roller release, then you can adjust it. It's not quite square is what I mean. So this little switch here with the little visual indicators, 2 lines together, a half line, and a single line, they will give you the different spacing mechanisms. Now what's interesting is that this here, there's a switch up here that has a 10 and a 12 with an arrow over it. That's interesting because it will space the letters differently. That's the kerning in digital. That's the term. I'm sure it's the term in typewritten technology too. You see how that's wider character spacing? That's more standard. So that's very advanced in my mind to be able to do that on a typewriter. So I just want to give you a little bit of an overview so you'll be able to use this thing. When you hit the end of the margin, you'll hear the bell a few spaces before the margin, 9 or so, and you click margin release, and then you'll still be able to type beyond the margin. If you don't, it'll just hang up there because it prevents you from just typing beyond the margin off the page when you're not paying attention to that part. That's what that bell is for. This has tabs, so you, like a vintage typewriter, so the Express EXP, that'll return as long as you have it held down. If you just tap it, it'll just return slightly. So it's a way to move across the line more quickly. EXP right here. It's not that easy to see. There's no controls on the back, which is nice. So I'm showing you everything here. Some of it's on the top, I confess, harder to see. But we'll see what we can do there. And there's the 10 and 12 indicator. I don't think it's an indicator though, it's just showing you they have the two. Okay, interesting. Was there another feature? Oh yes. You see how I wrote, this is heroic. I'm gonna put, if you put back like this, and you type over the same character, it erases it. If you just put backspace, it'll type over it again. So this little back arrow key with an X is the correcting selectric part. And what that does is it activates this correcting tape in here, which needs to be loaded separately. And that kind of whites out the characters with a very precise imprint right over the original character. You can generally barely see it. I'll write happy, and I'll erase happy entirely. And I'll write sad right over it. Just to give you a little demo of that. You see where it says sad? It literally picks the ink up under where that was, so you can't even see where it said happy. That G letter was just there. So the correcting is very beautiful and interesting. These come in fabric or carbon ribbons. This is a carbon. They're easier to get, and that's what I would suggest. This can close like so. When you push that in, it frees the line. Here it ratchets line by line. There's a spring-loaded thing in here on this left side margin. This is a stencil setting. You can move this over for stencil. You probably won't need that. It's very little used. Again, I showed you how to take this off by lifting the flap. This is the pitch, which selects how hard it strikes, essentially. You see how that moves it up and down? Not that essential. You're going to release this to remove this ribbon. And again, the primary thing with this is not to leave it running. They're difficult to ship. Don't bump it around. They can get smashed. This is very hard metal, but if you drop this whole thing, so many delicate pieces can fall off. Keep it off. Keep it covered when not in use. The dust will gradually stick these keys. It'll make it almost impossible to use and very difficult to undo that. So I hope that gives you a little overview. I just wanted to talk about most of the features, and there are a lot of them, and I just read the manual to bridge the gap between the 3 that I use and this 2. So I'm Steven at Classic Typewriter. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the other side.